So some folks think that all of this may sort of focus the debate that is before us in this election. Alan Colmes joins me now, host of the Alan Colmes Radio Show, and Pete Snyder is the chairman of the 2012 GOP Virginia Victory Fund, also a Fox News contributor. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi.
Good to have you here.
Hi, Martha.
Alan, you know, is Mitt Romney sort of articulating the debate here in a way, and by bringing up those comments by then, you know, Senator Barack Obama in the original comments, does it become more defined? Well,
the Joe the Plumber incident 4 years ago didn't hurt Barack Obama. And in terms of the 1998 tape that you played, he said distribution of resources, government resources. He didn't necessarily say money. He said to a certain level. Isn't tax breaks for the rich redistribution? Breaks for small businesses redistribution? Thinking the money is going to trickle down redistribution. He wasn't talking specifically about money, but if we want to specifically focus on money, we could look at the trickle-down theory as redistribution of wealth. We found out over a number of years that that kind of redistribution, making the wealthy wealthier, has not worked in terms of it helping the lower income people. So that's redistribution, isn't it?
Well, you know, all that may be true, but my question really is, are we defining the issue that's before the American people here, Pete? You know, do we want to be a country where we have larger and larger numbers of people depending on a check in the mail from the government, or do we want to get people off of depending on that? Becomes the question. Pete.
Martha, I think this is a great way to really encapsulate the debate that's going on and really what's at stake for our country. We have free enterprise at stake right now. Look, first and foremost, I think gotcha videos and all this kind of stuff is relatively silly. We just had an American ambassador murdered last week, and the Obama campaign is trying to distract from the turmoil in the Middle East, which is a direct result of the weakening of America. But if they want to play in this area, I think it's, you know, redistribution. The president firmly believes that. I'm an entrepreneur. That's my background. And, you know, when the president says to entrepreneurs like me, "You didn't build your business," that's very telling. When he says that that the private sector is doing fine, that's very telling. This is an important debate for America.
You know, does any of this, Alan, does it bother you? You know, when you hear this argument that more and more people are on food stamps, does that bother you? Would you like to see fewer people on food stamps?
Of course, and so would everybody. The point is, when Mitt Romney talks about 47%, and he conflates that with the same 47% who are going to vote for Barack Obama, he is ignorant of the notion and the facts that of that 28% of people who have jobs pay all kinds of taxes, but get enough tax breaks. Please let me finish. But they zero out because they get all kinds of tax breaks. 10% of those people are retirees or wealthy. Some of them are veterans, and about 6.9% of them are people who make under 20% a year. To say that all of those people who don't want to be productive, as Romney has said,
let me ask you this, Alan. Alan, are you concerned at all that there's a growing number of people in this country who, you know, for whatever reason, decide that it is easier to, you know, collect a check than it is to sort of fight?
47%. That's not 47%, as Romney
thinks. Let's assume for our argument right here that the 47% number is larger than it should be when you're focusing on the problem in this country that we're discussing, okay? My question for you guys is, are you concerned, first, Alan, are you concerned about that? Does that trouble you?
I don't buy the notion that more people than Republican state are somehow interested in just living off government money. Most people have pride. Most people want to work. And some people need a little bit of a helping hand, especially after the Bush recession.
Alan, the problem here is Barack Obama's campaign has solely focused on cradle to grave, what can government do for you? What is Julia's story all about? Alan, the only ignorant thing in this debate is you talking about redistribution and saying that taking it from the wealthy is redistribution. Alan, it's the taxpayers' money. That's the problem. The fundamental premise of your argument forgets that it's actually the taxpayers' money, not the government's money, Alan.
All right, let's get one last thought. Let's go one last thought from Alan. Go ahead, Alan.
Redistribution is the same. When you give money to the wealthy, when you give tax breaks to the wealthy, when corporations don't pay taxes, when they get all kinds of tax breaks, that's redistribution toward the rich.
Wait, Alan, I got to hear Alan's response to that. Alan, it is their money. It's the people who made the money. It's their money.
Yes.
So you're not.
Well, it's also the money of the
redistributing.
People. Of the 47%,
it's not other people's money.
Let me respond to that. Of the 47%, many of them, a large number of them, pay into Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. That's their money, too, that they eventually get back in some way, hopefully. So that's their money, too. And Mitt Romney totally misstated it to say 47 really are not motivated.
Well, some would argue that they should be able to keep more of that money in the first place as well.
That's a matter of debate.
That is the debate. And I think, maybe this whole thing will focus the debate, and we're only a couple of weeks away from the big debate. So we will see. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Alan, Pete, good to see you.
Alan, thanks for making my case.
Kennedy Space Center bids Endeavour a